It's the VBET Support British Racing Maiden Hurdle Race. Light and Strike's been a bit buzzy and side onto the tape on the approach. And he's let them go. They're off and racing. Light and Strike away fine on the wide outside of the field. So down they come towards the first of their 10 flights of hurdles. And Tango Bourget leads the field into number 1, the grey. Pops over it with a 3 to 4 length advantage over Will Carver. And Rocco George pulling pretty hard in third place. Head skywards early on, with Light and Strike to the outside. Beljour held up last of all. Just in front of Beljour is Duke of Chalfont, and the leader Tango Bourget leading still by some 3 to 4 lengths. Here comes flight number 2. Tango Bourget threw that one fine. The other 5 land in a bit of a heap in behind him, with just second Will Carver. Will Carver's followed by Light and Strike to the outside. Rocco George is still quite keen in between horses. And then in 5th place, Duke of Chalfont and Beljour in the red and white stripes, just bringing up the rear, but not far behind at all as they swing round into the home straight for the first time. Flights 3 and 4 await them there. Tango Bourget, 4 lengths clear over Will Carver in 2nd position. Rocco George 3rd on his outside, and wider on the track is Light and Strike under Adam Wedge. He's followed then by Beljour and Duke of Chalfont. Now to the next flight, the 3rd, Tango Bourget, jumping neatly. Very uneasy in the betting market beforehand, but applying himself well to the early task in hand. Tango Bourget now to the 4th. He's still clear of Will Carver in behind in 2nd place. Followed over in 3rd place by Rocco George, who was a little bit untidy. He's now got Light and Strike right alongside him, and Beljour and Duke of Chalfont only just in behind. So the 6 runners past the judge, and they're only covered by 4 lengths. Tango Bourget just a little bit awkward heading in towards the bend, but now turns right-handed still with a 2-length advantage. Will Carver, Rocco George and Light and Strike in line in behind them, with Beljour and Duke of Chalfont at the back end of the field. On they stride then towards the 2 flights of hurdles down the side of the course. Numbers 5 and 6. Tango Bourget from Will Carver, Rocco George and Light and Strike to the outer. As they come in towards this next one, Duke of Chalfont, Beljour are the back markers. And again, Rocco George just a little bit untidy, and he's still not helping himself at all by pulling pretty hard in between flights as well. Tango Bourget, that was a bad error from Tango Bourget, and immediately loses the lead to Will Carver, who nips through on the inside. The 6 runners still covered by just 4 lengths, though, as they turn through their departure point and onto the far side of the track for a second and final time. So they fought a jump in this VBET Support British Racing Maiden Hurdle Race. Will Carver's taken up the lead from Tango Bourget in 2nd. Light and Strike is in 3rd position. Light and Strike on the outside, followed then by Rocco George, who's not really helped himself by pulling hard and jumping indifferently, but he's still in there with every chance. Beljour and now Duke of Chalfont at the back end of the field has come under a bit of pressure. Taking the next flight of hurdles, and the earlier leader Tango Bourget has now also dropped tamely away and now becomes the back marker. But it's Will Carver who strides on now from Light and Strike in 2nd place. Rocco George is in 3rd. Then there's a gap to Beljour, who's just being hurried along now. Duke of Chalfont's a fair way behind them, and Tango Bourget has stopped very quickly indeed. And having been tightly grouped together through much of this contest, they have now got very, very well strung out in behind the front pair of Will Carver and Light and Strike. These two have opened right up then as they turn back towards home, with Rocco George now 10 to 12 lengths back in 3rd place, not making any further impression at all. Duke of Chalfont plugging on just in behind him from Beljour, and Tango Bourget stopped very quickly, now pulled up. Focus, though, back on the leaders as they turn for home. These two have it between the 2 of them. Will Carver on the inside, the yellow jacket of Light and Strike. They are now 20 lengths clear from Rocco George back in 3rd. Will Carver, Light and Strike having to switch to the inside. Will Carver's bowling along here in great style, coming towards the 2nd last. Oh, very untidy there. Flicked through the top and landed very awkwardly indeed. But Will Carver straightened up on the approach down towards the final flight from Light and Strike. The gap's grown again to about 8 or 9 or 10 lengths. Will Carver at the last much straighter and better there, and that secures the prize. Nicky Henderson and Nico de Bonville strike here, with Will Carver coming home for a very comfortable victory, just a scare at the second last, soon put right, and Will Carver's won handsomely from Light and Strike in second place. Rocco George next, Beljour and Duke of Chalfont will complete in their own time.
Wide intervals in behind, no doubt in the level of the dominance shown by Will Carver, who, as John said in commentary, well, rather did fluff the second last, but by that point was clearly on top, and it didn't stop his momentum one bit, because he's run away for a facile victory. And the horse who was behind Favois at Newbury last time out, a horse who went on to win at Cheltenham's Aintree meeting, a nice pedigree as well. The market had him as the one to beat, and he has come home in splendid isolation.
Well, he's progressive every single start. Disappointing on his bumper debut for Nicky. An OK third at Wincanton, decent second at Newbury last time, and he's been put under pressure a fair way, and I thought he was weak off the bridle at Newbury last time. Okay. He was beaten by a good horse. He stepped up on that again today. Probably a doubtful stayer back in second. I think Light and Strike dropped that one back to the minimum trip. Has run well. The rest of them disappointing for various reasons. See, Coco George, the steering's gone around that home bend. He was on and off the bridle. Too keen early. Didn't jump particularly well. So it was a little bit of a disappointing hurdle debut from the third. But apart from that, I'm not really sure what happened, because he jumped the hurdle okay, just the landing gear didn't quite get out in time. He's perfectly fine at the final hurdle. He's just gone further and further clear. A nice way to end his campaign. You'd imagine he'll be having a nice break out of this.
End his campaign at the start of the new season. It's a double on the way there for Nicky Henderson. Nico de Boinville now on the score sheet after Ash Darley gave, of course, the Seven Barrows trainer victory under Darryl Jacob. He took a look to his right, he took a look to his left. He could see no danger whatsoever. And the half-brother to Jason the Militant has won in quite taking style. So a non-stayer in second. I mean, for all that we were looking at an interesting claim for a few of these, as you said, the horse in third was keen. The huge drifter, who wasn't even in the race or the picture at this point, and I think had probably pulled up, was the Nichols runner, Tamgo Borgia. I really don't know what's next for that horse, given what happened here last time as well.